I'm also not a fan of KK.
I write KK.
I know. I know
write
people who
KK
do.
too.
I know people who do.
I'm offended.
What if I
I
wrote
feel
No,
attacked.
but I know who
K-A-Y,
types KK.
K-A-Y, K-K.
Okay.
More
Lunch
break.
Welcome back to another episode of Lunch Break. Our plus one from Patreon today is Paulo Dancel, and he requested American or fast food. What are you guys eating?
I got some Burger King, so I have an Impossible Whopper.
Ooh.
I got some $1 nuggets.
Oh, that's fast, yeah.
Yeah, and fries.
I got nuggets and fries too.
Oh.
Where'd you get yours from?
Shake Shack. I always go to Shake Shack. Also, we have a very special guest today. This is our coworker, another team member at Wong Fu, Michelle.
Hello.
Yay. Hi.
Welcome, Michelle.
She is an editor here at Wong Fu, and responsible for a lot of the lunch breaks and even some of the main channel content you've seen on the channel already.
Welcome.
Show her some love. We all love Michelle.
You might have even seen her. She's already on the Wong Fu and Ever White Elephant.
Oh, yeah.
We thought we would do a fun game today and return to an episode we did a while back, Dating Red Flags.
Is this a game or is this real life?
Red is a spectrum. It's like
Okay.
you got like
You know,
this
there's,
kind of red.
Yeah.
And then you got like
coral
Gen red. Yeah.
Yeah. Burnt
Oh,
red.
wait. Are we matching? Are we
Oh, you
all
guys
matching?
wore red
Neutrals
on.
going on. Yeah, the warm tones. Did everyone
Yeah.
bring their red flags with them today?
We crafted red flags, yo. All right.
They-
Oh,
I
we did.
just made them.
Oh,
Oh, yours is cute, Jen. Is that a face?
a lot has changed since the last episode, so who knows? Maybe some of our red flags have changed since.
You mean just you? I think you were the only one in that episode.
Was I the only one in the last episode?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, you were.
Jen,
Hey,
you weren't in
Taylor.
that episode?
Nope.
Okay.
I guess a red flag would be something that makes you kind of question the person. Like, are they right for me? I don't think we should date. So these are your dating red flags.
Not necessarily a deal breaker, but just a little flag, like, you know. Let me put a pin in that.
I guess in first date context, not being able to hold a conversation.
That makes
yeah,
sense.
but-
You know,
yeah, of
Red
course.
flag.
maybe like they're not able to engage well, like they're not listening, they don't know how to ask
Oh.
questions.
Listening is a thing. I think
Yeah.
that's like the common denominator is conversations. If someone's not actively listening, then
Yeah.
you can't have a conversation. You're just talking to a wall.
Yeah, like if I'm repeating myself, that's a red flag to me.
Yeah, like retaining information.
Dry conversation in general is kind of a red flag to me because that just means like we don't really click.
Sometimes people are nervous, you know. You need
That's true.
You gotta break the ice.
it takes some time for them to reach that normal
open up.
level of conversation that they might have. If it's like a reoccurring thing, that could be a problem. On the other end, I think a red flag for me was if the other person doesn't like bring you into conversations. Well, it's like ramble mode.
Oh,
Like even when you interject, it's like not as a two-way street.
Oh, so they talk too much?
Like I feel like it's kind of like they talk too much about themselves, and they don't have a switch where it's like, oh, I'm supposed to bring you into that conversation.
yes.
Or like have
Not
interest
asking
in.
questions.
It's almost like have interest in the other person, even, you know.
Like, is this a one-on-one conversation or are you talking about like a group conversation?
No, one-on-one.
like a one-on-one.
on a date. Well, no,
Yeah.
that's another red flag. There's another red flag. If you're dating someone, the person doesn't introduce you to your
Yes,
friends. That's
that
also
is a
that's
red
also a problem.
flag.
I think
Oh,
timing.
shit.
I've had that.
Yeah.
Timing
I've had that
wise.
problem.
We had a whole episode about this.
Oh yeah, we did. I've definitely had that experience where like someone introduced me to their friends, but then they were like, "Okay, like you go off and you talk to them," and I'm like,
Oh, awkward.
I don't know who they are. Like, how am I supposed to connect with them? You need to like be the
Yeah,
icebreaker.
that's not cool.
Were you dating the guy that brought you?
Yes.
Oh man, come on, man. Wow.
I've seen this on all the lists on first dates apparently, like talking about your ex.
First
Oh,
dates, man.
first date?
Hell
I
no.
guess it depends on how it, because I'm like, if it's in a relationship context, like you're talking about your past, I think that's fine. But if it's like bringing it up for no reason, it's like, hello, I'm here.
If it's prompted, right? Like sometimes like some people's icebreakers are like, I don't know, like what's three turn-offs or three turn-ons, and then they'll like talk about it and then bring up their ex, that's fine. But then if they're like going on about like, oh, like bringing up their ex a lot and why it didn't work, then it's like,
Are you not over your ex?
It's too heavy to go about that route on like even the
First
first
date,
2 or
yeah,
3 dates.
for sure.
But I do think like there are times where that kind of conversation comes up, and a lot of it sometimes it's like if you've been in like multiple relationships, you kind of know what your values are, because like the first time you go into a relationship, you might not know a lot about yourself. It might bring up the fact that, oh, because I dated these people, and you might not go into specificity, but yeah, if I dated these people, I realize that these are things that I value more, or these are things that I happen to like, and I didn't realize that until brought to the forefront by the being in relationships with other people. Like you've grown as a result of being in relationships.
yeah.
But first date, not a good idea.
Yeah, same. First date.
Yeah, unless like they're your waiter by accident, and you have
Oh
to
my
address
gosh,
the
can
elephant in the room.
What is this, a K-drama?
That's my ex. That's
K-drama
my ex.
moment.
On the date situation, red flag for me if you go on multiple dates with this person, if it's always landing on one person to plan, like if
Ooh,
it's
Oh,
only
yes.
you know, bring in, you should alternate a little bit.
I agree.
Yeah, red flag, red
Yeah.
flag.
Red flag.
I feel like that's really reflective of like how the relationship would go. If one person isn't always planning it, this relationship was to go on, or like it was to form a relationship, it's like,
Yeah.
do I always have to make it
It's a
work?
bad sign.
But I don't always think that it is completely reflective of the relationship, because case study here in the early phases of dating, it's like I also like contribute to especially like the first few, like you always think that you plan stuff, but I think as I've been in a relationship, I realize that my significant other is better at planning, so that's usually my way of kind of getting out of it. But I don't always think like, oh, it's a clear indicator of how the relationship is going to be, but it can.
Hey guys, one of today's sponsors is Skillshare. It's an online learning community with thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people. Their creative classes will allow you to explore new skills, deepen existing passions, and get lost in creativity. Even I signed up, and I was finally able to learn from our friend, Mimi Chow. In her Intro to Digital Painting class, Mimi breaks down her creative process by walking us through what programs and tools she uses. I use Photoshop constantly for thumbnails and graphics for videos, and by seeing how Mimi approaches her craft, I'm able to sharpen my own skills. If you watch Wong Fu because you're interested in film production, then they have class topics like writing, storyboarding, cinematography, and editing taught by professionals in the field. It's a great resource during these challenging times, especially if you're staying at home and looking for ways to enrich yourself. Membership grants you unlimited access to thousands of classes that could fit your schedule and skill level. Membership costs $10 a month, which is pretty affordable, especially when you compare it to other in-person classes or workshops. So explore your creativity and get 2 free months of premium membership at Skillshare.com/lunch. That's 2 whole months of unlimited access to thousands of classes for free. So get started and join today by heading to Skillshare.com/lunch. Again, that's 2 free months of unlimited access to thousands of classes at Skillshare.com/lunch. All right, let's get back to the episode.
What other red flags do we have?
How about like their general lifestyle? If they're like a partier, heavy drinker, raving all the time, that's just a big lifestyle clash for me. I can't do that. So
I would say right now. I would say currently. Yeah.
yeah, right at my age right now, it's okay if it's like every so often, but if that's like strongly integrated to your life, like weekly, you're always at the club. I don't drink, I don't party, so to me that's really uncomfortable. So
And that makes
okay.
sense. That's
Yeah,
a red flag for me too.
I'm open to that, but I don't like that. But what about if it's like every weekend they like having kickbacks, but there is drinking involved, there is music involved, but it's in their private space, but like you always invite the same friends.
every weekend?
Okay, maybe like twice a month.
Okay, it depends. I guess if it's like, oh, all the friends, they're socializing at their place.
But they're inviting you into they're not like leaving you guys in the corner though.
Yeah, they're not peer pressuring anyone.
They're not making you like wallflower-y.
Are you talking about like heavy drinking or just like casual beers?
I guess casual.
I mean, kickbacks are like really chill.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah,
No one
I
gets
think
like
that's fine.
trashed.
No.
But hey, this is all personal preference, you know. I'm sure some people will love to go to a festival every weekend with their spouse, and that's
That's
good for you
fine.
guys.
Yes.
That's fine.
Go find your rave bae. I believe in you.
Plur it up.
Like the amount of times that they need to go to a club is equal to the amount of times that Jen needs boba. That's
Oh
a
my
problem.
Wow.
I think you just revealed
That's a
another
good-
flag, Chris.
What if they don't like boba? Actually, for me, that's not a red flag.
Oh yeah, it's not a red flag.
They don't have to like boba.
But going off of that, if someone is not open to trying different
Yes.
cuisines or food,
Yes.
that's a red flag.
Same.
You don't have to like everything, but you should be willing to try.
I would say that, but I used to be that person though, because I used to be like a really picky eater, and I'd be like pretty adamant about the stuff I wouldn't want to try. So that's why it's not like a big red flag, because I've related to that before. But I've definitely gotten like more open-minded, and I will try something at least once. So I think it's like a pink
So
flag.
you're empathizing.
Yeah, I empathize. But if it's like food that I like, or like Taiwanese stuff, right? Like, and if they really don't want to try it, then I'll be like, then I can't eat with you.
Okay, if you don't
That's my
like Asian
culture.
food, if you don't like Asian food, that's a red flag.
I mean,
Oh,
I feel
yes.
like it's like more personally, there's some personal association there too. It's like, okay, if someone doesn't like Vietnamese food, I'd be like, you know what, my mom's cooking? Cool.
It doesn't
Okay,
mean
bye.
you don't like the food. It means you can't get to know my mom. And
Yeah,
that's a
kind of.
shame.
It's tied to that.
Okay, this is a more serious thing. It's if they only eat meat.
Who only eats meat?
You mean like no
Okay.
vegetables
wait.
at all?
What does that
I know
mean?
people in my life that don't eat vegetables, they don't eat fruit.
Oh. I think sometimes it's hard because for a while I didn't like vegetables, but that's because I didn't know
too.
what kind of vegetables I like. But now I know like what are the yummy ones. So now it's forcing me to like eat better.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Chris. That would be a red flag.
That makes sense. I don't know if it would be a red flag for me though. I can relate also because I don't. It's not like I don't eat vegetables, but I've like grown to understand that it's really important to eat vegetables. So I try to eat a little bit. But it's really easy for me to forget to eat vegetables if I don't have it.
I have this other one. If they will not eat fast food or they're too good for fast food,
Wait,
that is
okay.
that-
You're
That's
like
a preference.
They're like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna have like McDonald's for lunch.
If they're being pretentious,
There's a little bit of pretentiousness and there's a little bit of like they're too healthy.
what do you want? What do you want?
I want them healthy, but I don't want them too healthy.
Eating meats and vegetables can still be in a burger, but I didn't say they have to be like completely like a health nut. You're like, yeah, like they have to be able to enjoy fried chicken.
I would like that as well.
So it's a red flag if they don't eat unhealthy food.
That's like sometimes if they're not open to occasionally eating unhealthy or like they're not, yeah.
Sure, that's a red flag for me because I love fries.
I love fries too.
This other one is they don't know how to make eggs.
What the heck?
Wait, like what kind of
Like if they don't know how to
so
scramble,
many ways.
at least scramble. Okay, we're not saying making a perfect sunny side
Anyone
up.
can make scrambled.
But no, there are people who don't know how to, like if you burn it, like if you burn scrambled eggs, that's not scrambled eggs, it's burnt eggs.
I want to see Chris's dates.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Oh, look at this. We're at a cooking class. Oh, how weird.
Or like you don't know how to like make toast. Like you don't know how to use a toaster oven. Problem.
That's like just not being a kid.
But there are people out there that don't know how to make eggs. And they're grown people.
Yeah, the eggs. Yeah, I feel like it's simple enough, but I feel like if people can't cook, I can't cook, and I feel like I've just come to admit that I can't perfect everything.
Uh-huh.
I think that's
Okay,
fine.
that's a-
Yeah,
One
no,
thing
that's
makes
fine.
this
That's
fine.
fine. Like if
This is
they are
fine.
good at cooking,
It's also a
that's
personal
plus.
preference. He's not knocking anyone that can't cook eggs. He's just saying he'd prefer someone that can. Nothing against those who can't. If I'm going
you
to date
got
you,
that,
I
so-
prefer if you cook eggs without burning them.
And big thanks to the next sponsor of today's episode, Raycon. Whether you're working from home or working on your fitness, you want what you're listening to be what you're listening to, not what your roommates or the guy on the treadmill is listening to. Everyone needs a great pair of wireless earbuds. But before you go dropping hundreds of dollars on a pair, you need to check out the wireless earbuds from Raycon. The Raycon earbuds start at half the price of other premium wireless earbuds on the market, and they sound just as good. Their newest model, the Everyday E25 earbuds, are their best ones yet, with 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, and a more compact design that gives a nice, noise-isolating fit. The earbuds are super comfortable, which make them perfect for conference calls or listening to podcasts. And they're game changers because they're both stylish and discreet. There's no dangling wires or stems that may draw attention. So if you're interested in getting the latest and greatest from Raycon, then you can get 15% off your order at buyraycon.com/lunch. That's buyraycon.com/lunch for 15% off Raycon wireless earbuds. Buyraycon.com/lunch. All right, let's get back to the episode.
I don't really care if someone, doesn't watch the same things I do or didn't grow up watching the same TV shows, because those things can always change. Like, you can grow to love, anime or Harry Potter or whatever. But then I think Chris, you kind of mentioned this earlier, but it's kind of like they're not willing to try new things. It's like not willing to accept. I guess that people have different interests.
So it's like an all-encompassing, like, not willing to try new things, not willing to maybe travel to somewhere you've never been to.
Yeah. Or just like not accepting someone else's difference in opinions.
Uniqueness or background.
Yeah, that's a big red flag.
Is it like someone not accepting like your own world? Like they're in their world and they don't want to know what your world is like?
Like they don't want to step outside.
Yeah,
that's a red flag.
That's very mature. One of my red flags.
You think I'm mature?
I think one thing I realized, even being in a relationship right now,
is that why you look?
I like that we both love stand up, and I think it's one thing. Is like, if I met a girl that like didn't just wasn't interested in stand up, I could see that being kind of disappointing. I would be missing out on this, so it'd be a red flag.
Aww.
Yeah.
You know
I didn't know that.
I think like stand up, theater, they're like very divisive like things, like interests where it's like, I'm not a theater guy, or like I'm not gonna.
No, that makes
sense.
sense.
I guess if like they weren't interested in like the creative field at all, like it's okay if you're not pursuing it, but I guess if like that whole entertainment, everything that we are doing right now.
Yeah.
And if they were into that, it'd be like, well, what can you talk about? It's like, I can't share that part of my life with you. Cool.
I think there's both sides to that too. It's like sometimes it's nice to be on different sides of things because you have different things to bring into the conversation. But at the same time, it is also nice. I would say it's kind of a luxury if you have a lot of shared interests, because that doesn't always happen.
No, and I don't mean like they have to be in the same career. It's like if they don't even like
understand,
if they're just like, like artists don't make money, or like that, like they're just very negative minded about the arts and creativity, I guess.
Like just have a general interest in it.
Yeah, because I think contrast is great. Yeah, like you said, like it's bringing in different perspectives, and I think that's interesting conversation, the dynamic.
Wait, here's an unrelated one. For me, it's a red flag if like we're texting, but they type U with just the letter U and R with the letter R. Because I feel like, I mean, I get it if you're memeing. If you're gonna meme and be a troll and use it, that's fine. Like I do that. But if in like a conversation,
I know what you mean. I'm the same way if they actually aren't consistent. So they spell U out sometimes. And they spell R out sometimes, but other times they'll use U and just R. I'm like, what do you do?
That's me. Hello, it's me. I'm your red flag.
Conversations with Phil. He'll sometimes he'll just type U. He'll type R.
Oh my god.
He'll just type R.
Capital letters in places that
nobody does. I'm also not a fan of KK.
I write KK.
I know people who do. I know people who do, but I've gotten into arguments over KK before because sometimes I feel like it has like a kind of like a rushedness to it. You could just write OK. It's just moving your thumb over typing OK.
I'm offended.
Taylor, he's calling you lazy.
I feel attacked.
What if I wrote
but I know who types KK.
KAY. You know what? I received that message.
KK, gotcha.
Okay, here's a fun one. You walk into the person you're dating's bathroom, and they have a poop knife.
What's a poop knife?
Ew, we talked about this, right?
Wait, what's a poop knife?
You have to break it up. You got to break up the poop so it can go.
You got to break up the poop so it doesn't clog the toilet.
I don't really care.
I don't think it's a red flag, but I think they should invest that money that they use for like that poop knife for like fibrous foods instead.
Oh, so they should be eating vegetables and fruit more often. Yeah, okay.
Wait, I have one related to the bathroom.
Okay.
It's red flag for me if they come over to either my place or like my family's place and the guy goes to the bathroom and they don't put the toilet seat bowl back down.
Toilet
like
bowls?
my place or
And
family's place.
and their guests. Yeah.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Because one time in college, my dad came over to my apartment and then like the toilet seat was up, and he was like, was there a boy over? And I was like, oh, maybe like one of my roommate's boyfriend. And he was like, this shows you like the boy's consideration about visiting like his girlfriend's place or like a friend's place that's a girl.
Wow.
It's like you're being mindful that you're in a girl's space, like it's not a boy's space, so you should be putting down the toilet seat. Like in like the guy's space, like in his house, he can leave it up. That's fine. Even if they ask me, like just put it up, fine, because like it's not my space.
I think it should always be down, just because A, it looks nicer. B, it's fair for the female, the woman, and 3, it looks nice.
For the aesthetic. The aesthetic.
If they have a bad sense of style, and hold on.
Is that subjective though?
Like I'm not okay, and I would hope that they have better sense of style than me when I put on effort.
I don't know if that's a red flag, because to me that can always be changed, and I think that's kind of fun when the girlfriends like make the boyfriend. It's like, ooh, I can go buy clothes for you. I think that's fun.
But if they're not
I'm
open to
open
it,
to
or
that.
they're like upset that you're like nitpicking on their fashion sense, then it's like, come on.
There might be a gender thing too. There's some gender coding there too. It's almost expected that guys have less fashion sense than women oftentimes in a relationship. At least from my understanding. So like for a female to come to the relationship knowing that a guy could be improved through them is probably more normal.
Well, there's a level of like homophobia among like men because of like the association of fashion with being a male.
Sexuality.
But that's a whole other conversation.
Red flag still has quarantine hair.
Oh,
They still have quarantine hair to this day. Yeah. Red flag. They're not wearing a mask.
Ooh,
That's a red flag.
Red flag, you're not social distancing. Red flag, you're ignoring a pandemic.
Well, hopefully you guys liked us talking about our red flags. It got pretty heated. Sorry if you feel attacked, personally attacked in any way. Again, these are our just personal preferences when it comes to our dating lives in the past or present. Not necessarily a blanket statement for everyone. But if you would love to see more of us talking about red flags and dating, be sure to tell us in the comments below. Michelle, congrats on your first episode of Lunch Break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you to Paulo Denzel for joining us as a +1. And if you want to be a +1 on future lunch breaks, be sure to check out patreon.com/Wongfu Productions, where you can, beyond lunch break, there's also other fun perks. Also, be sure to check out wongfustore.com for new merch.
Well, we'll see you next week.
KK, good message.
KK, got it.
KK. See
Alright.
You guys with the U.
Late 8.
later.